Hello friends, welcome to lecture number 28. In lecture number 28, we will continue with the tourist behavior, and in tourist behavior we were discussing about the bias thought process. In the previous lectures, we have studied about market stimuli, which are marketing mix and tourism business environment, and now we are discussing about bias thought process. In bias thought process, we have already done cultural factors, social factors and personal factors. Now in this lecture, we will study about the psychological factors. Now psychological factors. Four major psychological factors which affect a person's purchases are motivation, perception, learning, beliefs and attitude. So we will start with the motivation. What are motivation? While explaining you about tourism marketing process, I told you that there are unfulfilled needs inside a person. Okay, these needs create certain kind of tension in a person, and that tension can only be released if that person does certain activity, takes a decision, joins something wherein those kinds of needs which have created that tension in him can be fulfilled. So that's what is the motivation, motivation to actually get released from this tension. Now if any of the needs is pressing enough, now there are a number of needs, the person cannot satisfy all of his needs, that is simply not possible. Okay, so if any such needs which are pressing enough to cause sufficient tension in a person, the more the tension, the more is the motivation to do certain thing, okay, or to purchase a product. So sufficient tension in a person and motivate him to release it, then only it gets upgraded to the motive to purchase. So it's not about that feeling of deprivation or need, it is also about that if that need is pressing enough to create enough tension to motivate the person to do certain purchase, only that in that condition that thing, this entire need and want and this motivation is important for us as marketers. Okay, so the individual's motivations reflect their inner needs. This tension comes from unfulfilled needs only and push them to seek out holiday experiences, okay, if the needs are such, okay, holiday experiences, and that will bring him satisfaction. The moment he will be satisfied, his tension will get released. Okay, now people look for holidays for many divergent reasons, and these reasons could be, some people go for relaxation, some people go for prestige. My friend has gone to the USA, I have never been to, so I need to go. Okay, some pressing release are for socializing, where friends and families and the entire extended families have been traveling together to have some good time. Okay, that is socializing. Or maybe personal development, people go for such kind of yoga sessions, yoga tours, people go for symposiums, conferences, workshops. These all are educational tours, so these are associated with personal needs. And personal development is also about telling it to others, whatever you have been learning till now and accumulated the knowledge which you have accumulated with yourself, you want to disseminate that information and knowledge to others and share it with others. That gives you a creative satisfaction. So that creative satisfaction is also a personal development. So knowing as well as disseminating, both of these provide personal development. Okay, and then a desire for something different. My life has been very boring, sitting in my office daily for 10 hours and working and then coming and going back. I want to put myself to some kind of risk and see if I can do some kind of adventure activities. This is a desire to do something different. People are such who travel to different cultures only to find out how that different culture is all about. What is that all about? So different cultures. There are people who go to same culture, reason being that they think that they are traveling into the same culture, so they will be more comfortable. And there are people who say, I already know about my culture, why should I travel to a similar culture? I go and visit a place which is very different culture, so that I know about those things which are very different from what I have been doing till now. So that's what this is talking about, a desire to do something different, and even sometimes a desire to do the same thing again and again, because that is a comfort zone. Okay, so then some kind of excitement by doing some kind of risky activities. Okay. Then adventure, yes, of course. Then experiencing different cultures and ways of life. Okay. And then meeting people with similar interest, like feather birds, they flock together. So, you go to spiritual tours with people who have similar kind of spiritual faith. Vaishnavites together to Vaishnav related tours, and Shaivites together with Shaiv related tours, and maybe Devi followers to this Vaishno Devi Yatra, or maybe Shakti Peeth, Siddh Peeths, So these are similar interest, their faith, what do they believe? Then intellectual enrichment. It's not just about education, it's about education from a general leisure tour also. When people go, they interact with people, they learn a lot from them. So this is intellectual enrichment. They changed their perspective, they got to know about something which they have not been knowing till now. So this is intellectual enrichment, and intellectual enrichment is also about, I didn't know the people of that place were so much like me or us. So this is also intellectual development, knowing that similarity exists, knowing that differences exist. Both of this is additional information. So both ways the person gets intellectual enrichment. So a person has both somatic, when we talk about needs, somatic as well as metaphysical needs. What is somatic needs? Those needs which are associated with the body, physical needs. Okay, food, water, oxygen, comfort, these all are somatic needs. Okay. Then next is metaphysical needs, psychological needs. One need of security may be because the bed was not comfortable, so the person or the guest has got a backache. Another need of security may be that the place was somehow looking risky. It was dark, not many people were there, and there was no policeman. So this is security. So when we talk about any kind of thinking, the sense of security and safety, it can be somatic, it can be metaphysical. Okay. So that way the needs are broadly can be divided into two categories: somatic needs and metaphysical needs. Okay, related to body, beyond body. Okay. Now two main theories which are there, which actually tourism industry follows. One is Maslow's hierarchy theory of motivation. This is also known as Maslow's hierarchy theory of needs, and Maslow's theory of motivation also. There are different names which has been given to this particular theory. And next is Herzberg's theory. So we will study first of all with Maslow's theory, but before that we will study a conceptual model of motivation. It's not based on any theory. This is simply how motivation, attitude and expectations are associated. So when there is actually a feeling of deprivation, then attention resulting into motivation, that motivation defines a person's attitude towards a destination, towards a product or any such thing. And then from there, after collecting the information, person creates certain kind of expectations from those tours or destinations, or whatever that person activity wants to do, and based on that expectation the person gets motivated. I mean, sometimes you might be thinking before going, the tourists say, I was very motivated to go over there, I was more than excited to go over there, but when I collected information I got to know, oh, there is something which is beyond what I have been knowing till now. So I am feeling much more excited and motivated to go there now. And sometimes it just reverse. They say, I was thinking so many things will be there, but it's not such a hot and happening kind of a place. So yeah, instead of going for 4 nights, even if we go for 2 nights, that will suffice our purpose. So that motivation has gone down. So that's how actually it's a cyclical process. So motivation, attitude and expectations, out of these 3 factors, all 3 factors get affected by the remaining 2. Okay, and it's a cyclical process. Now let us start studying about Maslow's hierarchy theory. The full name of Maslow was Abraham, A-B-R-A-H-A-M, Abraham. And Abraham Maslow, he gave this theory in 1943 in one of his research paper by the name of theory of motivation. Okay. So he has said that whatever needs, he has simply said that motivation comes from needs. So, if we divide the need of people, we will get to know about the motivation more in depth and what kind of motivation at what point of time. Okay. So, he has said that out of all the needs of people, needs can actually be divided into 5 categories. So, first is physiological needs, means the bodily needs. Next is safety and security, then love and belongingness, then self-esteem, and the last one is self-actualization. So, he said that physiological needs are more of the bodily needs, those needs which are essential for a person to survive. Okay. So, these are like, breathing, food, water. These all things, these things come under physiological needs. So, any need which are essential for the survival of a person, these needs come under physiological need. In absence of the fulfillment of these needs, survival of a life per se is difficult. So, these are basic needs. Next is safety and security needs. When we talk about safety and security needs, the person's stomach has failed. His oxygen related requirements, his water related requirement, food requirement, these all have been fulfilled. So, after that, now a person looks for, this was number 1, now next is number 2. Now, person looks for safety and security. These safety and security can be physical safety and security or psychological safety and security or even financial too. Okay. When we talk about physical, I gave you an example just few minutes back, then when you are sleeping on a bed which is not so comfortable and which is posing some kind of threat to your back problem, or you are going to have some kind of back problem, this is a physical safety and security which is lagging here. Okay. So, it is not just about physical security and safety in terms of when you are walking on the road and somebody is snatching your chain or wallet or maybe your mobile or your laptop. No, it is also about when you are inside the boundary of a hotel, then what kind of comfort are you going to get over there. So, this is physical. Now, next is psychological. There are certain places, where we feel threatened if something has happened with someone else. Nothing has happened with that particular tourist, but still psychologically that tourist will be somehow under the pressure that some kind of insecurity is there. So, then safety and security, and there are certain places where people feel very safe. Women can walk out in the night, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So, this is what, that place is secured enough. So, there the psychological security is there, and beside physical and psychological, there is also financial security. If the person is not earning enough, he will not be or she will not be able to fulfill his needs of any kind in his life. So, this financial security is also very important, especially in our product. If financially the person is not secure, the person will not be going for a leisure product, the kind of product which we sell. Okay. So, when his second kind of need also get fulfilled, then he goes for the third one. Yeah, one point I missed out here. When we talk about all these 5 needs, these 5 needs are called hierarchical needs. Why these are called hierarchical? Because Maslow said that these 5 kind of needs come after one another. Okay, one after another means physiological need is every living being required, not human being, every living being required. And when their physiological needs are being fulfilled, then that person goes for safety and security related needs. When safety and security related need and physiological, both these needs are fulfilled, then the person goes for love and belongingness. When love and belongingness, safety and security, psychophysiological, all these are fulfilled, then self-esteem, and likewise he goes for the final one, which is self-actualization. So, when we are saying that a person is looking for self-esteem, it is clearly understood that this is the 4th in the level of hierarchy. It means 1, 2, 3, these 3 level of needs have already been fulfilled. That is what Maslow has said. Okay, we are not talking about anything else. We are simply here talking about what Maslow had said. So, that is what Maslow had said. He said, Abraham Maslow, he said that these happen one after another. The moment lower level needs are fulfilled, it goes to a higher one. And this is an erected pyramid. Why erected pyramid? Because every living being needs physiological needs, means every living being. So, there will be more of members in this group. So, there will be, it needs a broader space, more area, it will occupy more area when we make when we represent it. Next, when these needs are being fulfilled by certain people, then they go for safety and security. So there will be fewer people in safety and security. Why? Only those will go whose physiological needs have been fulfilled. So with respect to the physiological needs in safety and security, there will be lesser number of members. So if it was occupying this much space, this will be little lesser. So that's how, if we keep adding one after another all these 5 levels of types of hierarchical needs, it will make an erect pyramid. So that is why this pyramid is erect, because lesser number of members will be there with every one consecutive as we go up in the ladder. Okay. So yeah, we discussed about second one, safety and security. Now third one is love and belongingness. Now in love and belongingness, after their safety and security needs have been fulfilled, now the person wants people to accept him. Okay, to love him, to be friended with him, okay, to like him. And that's what this acceptance and belongingness. He wants to belong to the people and want people to belong to him. So that's what is love and belongingness all about. Okay. So friendship, family, intimacy, sense of connection, all these things are there in love and belongingness. Now next is self-esteem. Now when actually these 3 basic needs are fulfilled, now self-esteem. The people want not love and be friended and want to be part of a group. No, they want to be respected. They want people to respect them, to find them worthy enough, okay, and value them and appreciate them. And that was providing them a self-esteem. When people respect them, when people value them, when people appreciate them, then their self-esteem related needs are getting fulfilled. So they get a confidence, they get a sense of achievement, they get respect from others, and this needs to be a unique individual, the way which they are, so many times you must have heard of people saying, that person wants to change me. I don't want to change myself. I want to be the way I am. That's what this self-esteem is all about. Accept the person the way that person is, and that gives that person a very good sense of being appreciated, even if that person, nobody is perfect, okay, but accepting the way they are is actually providing them self-esteem. So when these 4 needs are being fulfilled, then we reach to the highest level, and this is the 5th, the highest one, and this is about self-actualization. Self-actualization is about a higher value in life. This is what, when we talk about self-esteem, there is a little bit difference. Self-esteem, people accepting the way they are, okay, acceptance from the people. Self-actualization, what I think I am capable of, what I think I can do, I have got an opportunity to do, and I have done it also. That is self-actualization. Okay. So esteem is from others, self-actualization, I have something in myself, capability to do something, and I have got an opportunity and done it, so I am satisfied. The way we said aham brahmasmi, that aham brahmasmi kind of a thing is here in self-actualization. Okay. Self-esteem is being accepted by the society. Self-actualization accepted by oneself. Content, that thing. Okay. So it comes with, people feel when there is morality, when there is creativity, when there is spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning in, inner potential, all these things, whatever the potential the one is having, the person has got the opportunity as well as done also. And this results into self-actualization. Okay. Self-actualization. So this is what Maslow has said. Now, please be very clear about certain points. Maslow gave only a theory of needs, not for tourism, only a theory of needs. But this is a widely accepted theory and widely applied also in tourism. Second, Maslow said that all these needs are hierarchical in nature. When first need is fulfilled, only then second will be come in the mind of a person. When second will be done, mind of third one. Okay, that's how these things are. So when he said safety and security, he also spoke about clothes and home, shelter. Why? Because clothes provide security to our body from the changes, harsh changes of the environment, from winter, from summer, from heat, from rain, from insect bite. So that's what safety and security. Home provides shelter from even more harsh weather conditions. So he did not, spoke about, these needs in terms of tourism. He simply said these are the needs which are there in human beings. Okay, and to certain extent, in few of the living beings also, which are evolved. Okay. So now, what happened? Maslow gave it in 1943. Okay. Now, what happened by 1988? There was a social scientist by the name of Pierce. In 1988, he applied Maslow's hierarchy theory into tourism and came out with travel career ladder, which is also known as TCL. Now, we have to remember here this thing, that though motivation plays a major role in holiday decisions and behavior of the tourist, but it is also important to be remembered by marketers that other factors also influence tourist behavior, like the personality of the tourist, financial considerations, his financial security, amount of paid leave, which is like he might be having money and intention to go, but paid leave was not available. Okay, he might have exhausted all them earlier. Then his health issue, everything is available, but health is not permitting. And traveling partners, like whether they are also available with him to go on a tour or not. Now, such factors can either hinder or facilitate the realization of a person's holiday motive. So, motive will be there, but these factors which are beyond the needs and all those things which I have told you about in Maslow's hierarchy theory, motivations to travel, these are those factors which are beyond them and play an important role. So many times you must be seeing people saying, I want to go, but what do I do? Kids have exam, wife is not getting enough, or maybe husband is not getting enough, or maybe mother-in-law, father-in-law is not well, or parents are not well, all these kind of things. So it is not just about the about the needs, it is also about the what is existing in the external environment, and what about the condition of the people who have to travel along, or maybe the people whom this person is leaving behind while he is going on a tour. Okay, so these all things together actually make an impact. Now, this is a very simple model of what Pierce has given in 1988. I have taken this model from his 1991 publication. Now, this says that in physiological needs, some are external oriented, means some which are which are push factors, and some are internal oriented, which are pull factors. So external oriented are need to escape, excitement, curiosity, need for arousal, external excitement and stimulation. So all these things, they come from the external oriented, okay, where the person wants to go out, makes a person outward, while there are some internal oriented which are need for sex, eating, drinking, need for relaxation, manage arousal, stimulation level, etc. So these physiological needs may be existing in the surrounding which are in external oriented, and may be existing with the person himself inside him, which are internal oriented. So when we talk about needs, needs are also, it's not inside the person, needs may be in outside the atmosphere also. Like need to escape is something which is existing in the office atmosphere. So many times we must be seeing people saying that I have been on a tour just 6 months back, but I am already feeling so tired because of so much tension in the office. So need to escape. Need to escape has become a need for a person just because that person was not so comfortable with that external environment. So even physiological needs can also be external oriented. Okay. Now next is safety and security. Safety and security can be need to reduce anxiety, need to predict and explain the world. This is other directed, and self directed may be need for security. The person himself is feeling secured, that kind of a need is within the person himself. Okay. whether the person is feeling secure at the destination, inside the hotel, on that site and other things. But when we talk about need to reduce anxiety, the person was feeling anxious whether I will be able to do it or not, that kind of a thing, dar ke aage jeete kind of a thing. So that dar, that anxiety, the person wants to reduce it. So just to reduce that anxiety, that person wants to go on a trip and need to predict and explain the world. What has been happening over there? Why? What kind of people do this? So this is also this why which was missing with the person, giving him some kind of insecurity. And when the person has gone and has seen those people and has met those people, he has got to know that culture is absolutely okay to be there, and this has given him a sense of security in himself. People go on these trips like trekking and mountaineering and rock climbing and skydiving and bungee jumping, just to kill their or reduce their anxiety, or just to get this sense of unpredictability to predictability, that I have done this. So it might be feeling like very unpredictable, but it is not. Okay. Now next is relationship need. In relationship need to reduce anxiety about others. Most of the time honeymoon couples, especially in case of arranged marriage, they do not know each other. So their honeymoons are just a kind of get together to know each other. That's it. So it reduces anxiety. It acts as a icebreaker for them. Okay, the way we do in any company when somebody joins orientation program or induction program, if any students join a university, that induction program, the similar way it is like ice breaking between a couple. Okay, so then need to affiliate, get connected to that person, get connected to that group. So this is relationship needs. Then self-directed, need to give love and affection. It's not about getting from others. I told you this thing, if you remember this in this one, third one, love and belongingness, I told you this thing. It is not only about taking, it is about giving the similar emotions also. So give love, give affection to people. Okay. Now next is self-esteem and development needs. Now others directed maybe need for status. When people travel with those trips which are basically in which they are people who are accompanying them are also successful, highly placed in the society and companies and in business, then they get a status. Then need for respect, recognition. I have been to USA, I have been to Australia, I know about that place, I know about that culture, I know about their food, I know about their festivals, I know about their religions, their faiths. It may be good, it may be bad. Bad in the sense, bads with the society, okay, in general, not because that religion is bad, but bad what is existing over there. So it's just about knowing, and this gives a sense of respect. This education which comes with tourism, that gives them a recognition and respect, and then they need for achievement. They feel that sense of achievement in themselves if they go to these kind of places. Okay. Now self-directed means why a person does for himself, need for self-development, his own growth, need for curiosity and mental stimulation, mastery, control and competence, especially when they organize the tour on their own. Okay, or maybe when they undergo some kind of activity, or they join some kind of symposiums and workshop, or they simply go on a trip, and while going on that trip they just learn a lot from them, they know a lot from them, that gives them a sense of competence. Okay, next is need of self-efficacy, got to know, can do this. Okay, need to repeat intrinsically satisfying behavior. Maybe the person feeling anxious to go to a place, a person feeling anxious to fly. Okay, now he is taking flights repeatedly. Why? So that this kind need to repeat intrinsically to satisfying behavior, so that he can kill that anxiety, and then he gets a satisfaction that he has internally he has controlled himself, he has controlled his anxiety by his repeat behavior of calming down himself, controlling himself and thinking that it is not risky. So this is a deliberate attempt from the side of tourist or the person himself. Okay. Now last one is fulfillment needs. Need for self-actualization, need to flow experiences, continuously growing himself by getting new and new experiences, and need for self-actualization. I could do it and I have done this. Not for others, not to tell to this person or that person or to you or to him. No, for myself. Yes, I didn't know I could do it, but I have done it. And I was just thinking I could do it, but I was not sure of, but now I know I can do it. So, that kind of self-fulfillment needs. So, these are different things which actually have done. Now, if you look at this travel career ladder, this is tapering erect pyramid, but is not having a very clear cut tip. So, there is an extension of this. It is difficult to find this information in any of the book or internet. It is a little difficult. So, please pay attention towards this. Here they say that when we actually apply this ladder, okay, travel career ladder, then there are two more points which can be added to Maslow's hierarchy theory if it has been applied in tourism. First is to understand, next is to appreciate. To understand means to understand where you have gone, culture, religion, eating habits, topography, weather, all these things, to know about that place. So, first you know, then you understand, and then you start appreciation to the extent that it may be different, okay, but you still appreciate it. Generally, people do not appreciate the things which are different. That person is not good. Why? Because he does not belong to my religion. That person is not good. Why? Not my faith. Within a faith itself also these kind of divisions are there. But this is tourism which actually makes us that kind of a person who is tolerant, a person who is compassionate towards the things, scenarios and any culture or any such thing which is different from him, and still he appreciates. It is just that these two are different and not that something is inferior or superior, just different, that is it. And then that appreciation comes up. Okay. There is a very famous saying which says that if you go to Humayun tomb, then a person should go to Humayun tomb thrice. Why? Because first the person sees it, then the person understands it, and then the person actually appreciates it. So, once if you go to Humayun tomb, you just see it, you do not understand anything, you do not appreciate, yeah, it is a huge one, it is a beautiful one, this and that, very, very superficial kind of a thing. But next step, you understand what kind of an architecture is there, what kind of tiles are being used, what is the significance of those things, and then there comes a third step which is beyond knowing and understanding, and which is the appreciation of that entire structure which is existing there as Humayun tomb. So, this is what this is talking about. You understand, then you appreciate, and this comes with tourism. So, with this I am resting this lecture over here. At the end of it, I have provided you with a list of 5 books. You can refer to any of these books or any other book of your choice if you want to. Thank you.